Hey, Strat Wrestler here, just noodling around, having some fun. Decided to do something a little different. I'm going to review the Ibanez TS9DX, I think it is, otherwise known as the Turbo Tube Screamer, which is my favorite of all the tube screamers. And I'll tell you why and show you why. It's very versatile. And after having said that, I'll tell you why I don't use it anymore lately. But I'm just up this morning enjoying my morning coffee. I love coffee. And this particular coffee, I like to drink a little bit of it just black, because it's so good. But then I like to put a little bit of heavy cream in it. You know, just that they sell it at the store as heavy whipping cream. Just a little bit of that. You know, heavy whipping cream has just about no lactose in it. It's all fat. If you look on the label, you'll see there's 0 sugar, 0 carbs. So that means there's no lactose in it, because lactose is sugar, it's milk sugar. So if you're lactose intolerant, and that's really your problem, you can still put heavy cream in your coffee, just so you know. So I'm going to turn this thing off, let you hear the guitar without the tube screamer on. I've got it set to the regular DS9 setting, and I'm going to show you the top of this thing so you can see the labels. But you can look it up online. It's just called a Turbo Tube Screamer. But it has different settings. It has a TS9, a Plus, a Hot, and a Turbo. And they may not sound quite like you think they should. I've got it set so that all the knobs are at 12 o'clock. The tone, the gain, and the volume, just pointing straight up. So that that's kind of the gold standard, or the default setting that most people will use them at. You can go online and see how, at least according to some people, some of your favorite guitar players set up their tube screamers. And I was surprised to find out that a lot of them were pretty close to just straight up 12 o'clock on all the knobs. I usually do something a little different. But this is what the guitar sounds like without the tube screamer. Just a stock neck pickup on my pretty little Mexican Strat here. My Epiphone's got a problem. I've got an Epiphone 339, which I love. But as usual, if I play a guitar a lot, and about 3 or 4 years after I buy it, it needs fretwork now. There's a bad buzz on my B string for notes played right around the 5th fret, which I happen to play the B string a lot around the 5th fret. It sounds kind of like a sitar when I play those notes. It's got a little bit of a warbly twang to it now. Oh, I gotta go get it fixed. So I'm gonna turn on the tube screamer with that stock 12 o'clock knob setting, and it's set to just regular TS9. A little sloppy there. Same lick without it. With it. And now I'm going to switch it to the plus setting. Sounds like it adds a little more low end. I don't think it's really adding a lot of more gain. Maybe a little mid-range. And then it's got another setting out above that called hot. You're just flipping a little dial. It sounds like it dirties it up a little more. The low end's a little mushier. I'm just noodling around playing stuff. You can hear it's definitely got a different sound. Now I'm going to turn to turbo, and this is what surprised me about this. You hear how it tightened up the low end just a little bit? Didn't really add any gain. It might have knocked the gain off. It added some punch somewhere in there in the mid-range. But I would have thought turbo would have went into, like, you know, Hoogie Boogie Metal Land or something, but it doesn't really. When I used to actually use this pedal and gig with it, I just left it on turbo, because I pretty much had my amp set up so that I could ride the volume between somewhat clean and then into the amp's natural overdrive. And then when I wanted my lead boost, that's what I turned on. And you might think it's a little too much and a little too muddy, or more distortion than you want, but that's by itself with this amp. In the mix with a band, it seemed to cut through really well, and so I liked it. So I'm going to put my guitar down and move my camera around and show you what this pedal looks like here. Just a sec. So here is the turbo tube screamer, the Ibanez TS9DX. And it's got the usual drive, level, and tone. But plus this little switch here, it switches to different locations between stock, tube screamer, plus, hot, and turbo, as I describe in the rest of the video. This here is what I'm using now. That green box was one of the do-it-yourself build kits you can find online. I don't remember what it's called. I don't even know if they still make it, but it has a combination of a tube screamer like circuit and a boost. This is the drive, this is the tone, this is the level of the tube screamer circuit, and this is just the boost level. And then these here are switches that I don't remember what they actually do each, but it's very similar to the different modes on the turbo tube screamer. It doesn't have quite the range and variety, but it does the job for me, and I like the idea of having it all on one pedal with two foot switches. And I like the Holy Grail Nano Verb, and then the Mr. Black, which is supposed to be like blackface tremolo and reverb. I find the mixture of the two reverbs and that tremolo to be interesting at times. So there you have it, the Ibanez Turbo Tube Screamer. So get your guitar and maybe grab you one of these and a regular tube screamer. Use it as a boost. That's one of my recommendations. And see how you can use those together. But until then, grab your guitar, grab your pedals, and go play some music.